Welcome to the next episode of Hidden Gems. Today, I'm here with Mike from the Rainbow Wallet. Mike, how are you?
What's up, dude? I'm great. Thanks for having me here.
Let's get started with some background. What were you doing before Rainbow? Have you always been in tech or did you pivot away from someone else? Let's hear some of that.
I've always been a computer kid, like self-taught. I taught myself how to code when I was like, I don't even know, like 13. I've always been obsessed with products and startups and technology. I was working at like a healthcare SaaS company, and that was, in early 2018. I was sitting there and I was spending more time thinking about crypto than I was about my job. And I didn't like that. I felt not only guilty about that, but I felt, I'm really missing an opportunity to kind of jump into this new industry. The 2017 bubble gave me a lot of conviction that crypto is simply never going to go away. Like you cannot get rid of this. And that sort of was an aha moment for me, where after I had that realization, I basically decided to quit my job and to join crypto full time.
Incredible. And did you jump right away in 2018?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably the worst time to join a new nascent industry while going through a multi-year bear market.
I don't know, dude. I kind of think it was a good call. I think that, if you join crypto during a bear market, you are going to make it, right? I think that crypto is a roller coaster. And I think that, having spent time, in the trenches of the last bear market, I think it really builds character and, calluses and just kind of like it prepares you for the roller coaster.
I tend to agree with you. So Covalent is a baby of the prior bear market. So 18 and 19, we really honed in on the product and the experience. And I think one of the main reasons we're here today is because I think very hard to build infrastructure in a bull market. So if we had started in 2020, I don't think we would be where we are today. We glamorize the bull markets, but bear markets are where real things happen. So you started out, and how did Rainbow come about? What was the impetus from working at another startup? So you worked at the healthcare startup to starting an actual company to build a wallet and a suite of products there.
I've always been a very product and design oriented engineer. I was always the person on the team everywhere I had worked where, I was the engineer that worked really, really closely with the designer. That was actually not super valued, honestly, by a lot of the companies that I was working at, because really we're building like SaaS products. When I joined crypto, I really wanted to work on something that was a little bit more consumer focused and really to, work on a product for the first time, that I was a potential user of, right? Like to build a product for my own needs. There was a brief stint before Rainbow where I had met my co-founders working at this other company. We all decided to start Rainbow in early 2019 after that other company died. And the impetus to start Rainbow really was like, we were just obsessed with Ethereum and the cool things that people were building on it. At the time, there really wasn't that much, right? Like there was MakerDAO, there was Radar Relay, was like the most popular DEX at the time. And there was CryptoKitties. But we were just endlessly fascinated with these building blocks. And to us, the opportunity to build or to like rethink what a wallet is and can be and should be, that opportunity just was really obvious to us. It just was like, something that we couldn't ignore and that we felt really passionate about. And we also just, I think, felt really uniquely capable of building a product in that space. My co-founder, Christian, who's, the original designer at Rainbow, he just has this like natural gift for designing like really fun, beautiful kind of consumer oriented products and interfaces. We set out originally, to build the wallet that ends up on everybody's home screen. Our goal is to become the new default wallet and to, make Ethereum more accessible and more fun for everybody to play with.
Incredible. So you definitely have a fan here. I'm a huge fan of the experience that Rainbow provides. And it shows. I think it's very difficult to fake that you care about something.
Yeah.
And Rainbow, every single piece, every single pixel, every single shadow, rounded corner has been a lot of thought put into it. So definitely you have a fan here. I actually tell my team, we're an infra company at Covalent. So, we're a faceless company in that sense, in that it's all JSON responses. That's really our bread and butter. But I tell my design team, like, why can't we be more like Rainbow, right? Let's learn
Ooh,
from
we love that.
our customers. Yeah, no. And then this script of being on the home screen of every crypto user, I think that's a very ambitious position. No, it's great. I think we need more people like yourself and your team in the crypto scene, because right now everything is so convoluted. The bridging experience is terrible. Like, it's just so bad. And I think it's just a breath of fresh air using something like Rainbow.
Thanks,
So
man.
obviously I'm oozing my how fond I am of the product and the product experience here. Let's go into Rainbow. What is Rainbow today? You started out as a interface for your assets. Rainbow is a great brand today, but is the wallet the start and finish of the brand? Like, what is happening here? Let's maybe go into that thinking that you guys have put behind the company, right?
Yeah. Historically, Rainbow has had like one major product offering. It's been our mobile app, our mobile wallet. We have expanded. We also have RainbowKit now, which is a developer-centric product. RainbowKit, it makes it really just dumb easy to add a Connect wallet experience to your website or dApp. And just like truly people, who just are learning how to code could figure it out in a couple of minutes. And that's been, we've seen a huge sort of adoption and sort of evangelism around RainbowKit. And that's been awesome to see. But we also are, we're expanding as well. We're about to launch our browser extension. So finally, Rainbow is going to have platform parity with MetaMask. Rainbow is finally going to become like, a wholesale replacement for MetaMask. So we're really excited about that. But I think the core of your question, right, is like beyond the sort of table stakes wallet things, like what's next? Like, how does Rainbow think about that stuff? And I guess the first answer I'd have is that Rainbow, we've always considered wallets as being the ultimate aggregator. There's so many different things on chain that users essentially seek aggregation for. And from our perspective, wallets are just the best position to actually not only execute on that, but also just like make it easy for end users to actually perform these actions. One thing that we shipped last year was a really deep integration with ENS. We consider ENS to be, the most Lindy like namespace and the most Lindy on-chain profile. Our thinking was like, hey, if we build this awesome experience around registering ENS names and configuring your profile, that basically is like step one towards a broader, sort of more social centric product offering, right? So like first get people to actually create these, register a name and create these profiles, become invested in these identities. From there, basically start expanding and layering on more social functionality and features. So that's something that we're going to be doing, near and medium term future. So quite excited about that. But we're also going to be exposing some interesting creator tools in the products as well. For example, like an in-app NFT creator tool. I do think that during the bear market, it's important to focus on sort of the hierarchy of needs that users have. Like, why are they here in the first place? And I think that making money is actually the core sort of driving intent that brings everybody into crypto. I consider, for example, like creating an NFT, like even if it's an open edition and selling it for $1, to me, that's like actually a really compelling way to like make some money for somebody who has interesting art. So yeah, I think that like quite excited about sort of exposing to users more ways of making money, basically.
So that was a warm up. So let's go into some hardball questions. You have a wallet, and in the current space, I would say DeFi has product market fit. And so you've built all of these financial functions. And I think in the next couple of years, NFTs will get explored. I think gaming will be explored. How do you see the brand evolve over the coming years? Are you going to have this like WeChat-like experience with all functions within one fat app? Or is there going to be Rainbow for gaming, Rainbow for music and NFTs, entertainment kind of use cases, and just the financial use cases? Like, have you guys thought along those lines?
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see how this has played out culturally, right? Because I think in 2018, it was not obvious at all to us anyway, that there would be this kind of like bifurcation in people's sort of interest, right? Where people like interest in the space is either firmly DeFi or sort of, firmly NFTs. We didn't predict that, I guess it might seem obvious now. To your question, like how does Rainbow evolve to kind of handle these expanding use cases? From our perspective, a fully featured wallet is actually important to all of those users. We're not big believers in sort of like the verticalized wallets, like wallets that are sort of geared towards one of these use cases. The reason why is because in reality, something could be an NFT without it being like art or like music, right? It can be something like utilitarian, like a Uniswap LP position. It's important for a wallet to expose like the full suite of actions that a user can take. We also think that users are, the longer that they're in the market, actually do start to broaden their interest, right? And like start to actually explore DeFi more if they were more, NFT centric or vice versa. So we do think that we can support all of these new use cases in one core experience. We do plan on, having more sort of bespoke UIs for things like music NFTs, right? Like have like a music player, built into the app. You open a music NFT and there's a big like play button and stuff like that. We do support music NFTs today, but it could be better. Another way we think about it is that some of these things actually deserve their entire products built around them. So for example, like music NFTs, I can foresee an app that is purely about organizing, building playlists, things like the discovery of music NFTs. And we consider that like an entire sort of product in and of itself. But really critically, it's our opinion that the user still needs to have a wallet in that scenario. We think that basically most of these products are going to actually connect to wallets instead of sort of being wallets in and of themselves, because that's actually like not a good user experience, right? Like from a user's point of view, segmenting your assets and sort of having to maintain all of these different wallets is really unideal and actually costs money, right? Like you have to spend money every time you want to move assets from one wallet to another. So we don't really believe in that future of like these like segregated wallets per use case. We're much bigger believers in kind of like specialized apps that can like connect to your wallet, right? And like we see that for like, music NFTs. I could imagine it for like podcasts, but yeah, also like for gaming as well.
Let's change tracks a bit and focus on RainbowKit. I guess my question is that you have a consumer experience and a brand built around Rainbow.
Yep.
And now you've introduced this second product with a second user persona, which is quite different. So we have struggled that ourselves at Covalent by creating a second product, the same stack, really. It's, we use it in-house. We just like spun it out as a second product, but going to market with a second persona and so early in a company where, the space is not mature. Have you guys faced any difficulties there, or has it been seamless? I'm mostly looking for lessons that I can learn from you guys and take it back. And, if you are going to launch a second persona, a second product to the same persona, I understand, it's pretty straightforward, but a completely different persona has been challenging on our side.
Yeah. So RainbowKit is a React package that lets you, it's built on top of WAGMI, which is, a really popular React hooks library for interacting with Ethereum. So with RainbowKit, right, it completely simplifies and dumbs down the work needed to get a complete wallet connection flow added to your app or dApp. So what that means, right, is like, usually most apps will have like a connect wallet button. Usually you click that and then choose a wallet. There's also, built into RainbowKit is like UI that allows the user to like switch networks and do things like, disconnect their wallet and copy their wallet's address and things like that. Taking a step back, it's like, why did we build RainbowKit? Like the thing that actually got us to build it in the first place was user need, right? So we were realizing that far too many of our users were landing on random dApps that they would find on Twitter. And these dApps would only have a connect to MetaMask button. Like they wouldn't even support Wallet Connect at all. We realized that basically it's not because these dApps like love MetaMask so much, right? That's why they're doing it. It's often because the people who built these dApps were, beginners, and basically Wallet Connect was not, easy enough for them to figure out how to actually integrate successfully. And basically from our perspective, right, like Rainbow being a mobile wallet, that's a problem. Like we want our users to be able to actually interact with all of these dApps, right? So it's a big problem if basically Rainbow users want to play with some dApp, but they can't. We thought, hey, man, like it's actually kind of a pain in the ass from a developer's perspective to actually build these connect wallet flows. Most developers don't even really want to they have a whole application to build. They don't actually really want to care about this like small sliver of their product. And more than that, they don't want to maintain it, right? Like let alone sort of build in the first place. So we saw that as an opportunity to kind of like step in and actually make developers' lives easier, as well as solve our users' problems. But really quickly, we realized how strategically advantageous something like RainbowKit be. So by default, RainbowKit puts Rainbow at the top of the wallet list, but that actually is just, again, the defaults. The developer can configure the list of wallets however they would like. They can even remove Rainbow, like straight up, you can just ditch Rainbow as an option if you would like. Now, you asked kind of like what learnings and like core insights we had here. And you asked like what trouble or like, what obstacles have we faced along the way? Honestly, we really lucked out, I think, with RainbowKit. We haven't had that many problems. And frankly, like the adoption that we've seen on RainbowKit just happened really organically. We were first to market in this new paradigm of wallet connectors. And I think that certainly boosted sort of, the initial adoption, just being first to market there. But I do think that there were a couple of core decisions that we made about the RainbowKit offering that certainly impacted its success. So for example, the target user here is a developer. And there were a couple of core, like product decisions that we made to kind of make it appeal more to developers. Like the list of wallets is completely configurable, right? The kind of motto we had was like, make RainbowKit unhateable, right? So it's like, what are the reasons that someone could hate this? And let's make sure that we don't do any of those things. So, one was like, it needs to be configurable to support any list of wallets in like any order that the developer might want. Another decision we made was RainbowKit ships with like no analytics tracking. And that I think has actually really impacted its adoption. We've heard explicitly from a number of really like high profile dApps that they wouldn't have used RainbowKit at all if there was this tracking built into it. And, having like really strong documentation as well, I think has certainly helped. From like a branding perspective, I think I suggested the name RainbowKit. We were worried initially about it sounding a little too, rainbow centric or sort of like a little too branded, but I actually think that it's like easier to discover. I do think that the name RainbowKit actually helped its adoption as well.
It's a nice name. It rolls off the tongue.
Thanks, man.
The lesson from all of this, for me personally, as a founder of the space, is make your product unhateable. And you basically, I think it's like these teams do these pre-mortems, which is, understand why a project would fail and know that beforehand. And it's kind of like that. Like, why would someone hate the experience? And all of the things just make sense from that context. So I think we are going to incorporate this as part of our workflow. And users have a lot going on in their lives, and why just complicate that even further? That's how you build brand affinity, I think, right? It's otherwise it's like a death by 1,000 cuts, and every single thing is like, maybe on its own it's not a big deal, but overall it leads to tarnishing your brand image. The other question I have is about Rainbow itself, product market fit. You guys have raised venture capital. What is that equation looking like? What is the benchmark that you guys hold yourself towards? I'm guessing it's a mobile app, so daily active users, monthly active users, and so on. What does product market fit look like for Rainbow?
For the last couple of quarters, we've been tracking weekly active users with an asset balance as being, kind of the core metric that we track. But going forward, we're going to be tracking Rainbow powered transactions. So basically transactions that originate from our app as opposed to like originating from a wallet connected dApp, for example. As far as product market fit goes, it's always a tough question to answer. Does Rainbow have product market fit? Not sure. And in fact, I think that it's always conservatively better to say no, right? We are one of the leading Ethereum wallets, but we do have a lot of ground to kind of catch up on as far as like MetaMask's existing distribution advantage. But things like RainbowKit are quite sort of impactful in bringing us towards that goal.
So in terms of revenue opportunities for Rainbow, how do you envision that playing out over the next coming quarters?
Yeah. So, right now Rainbow generates revenue based on a swap fee. So we charge like a convenience fee on top of swaps that, are facilitated from the app. We charge like 85 bips. We also charge a small fee for bridging in the app, as well as for fiat on-ramping. Going forward, though, there's also, awesome opportunities to monetize more NFT-centric functionality. So, for example, something that we're about to launch, Alpha Leak, in the coming weeks here, is going to be in the Rainbow app. We're going to show users one aggregate list of all of the offers that people have made on their NFTs. And we will very likely be charging a convenience tax there as well, a convenience fee there as well. Beyond that, though, we've also made our own NFTs. So we have a program campaign that we call Rainbow Drops, where we work with other brands in the industry and outside the industry on creating sort of original NFT content. Most of the ones that we've done have been free, but the last one that we did with Finilier, aka Finny, it's like an NFT brand. We made that a paid mint, and that generated revenue as well. So that's awesome. We love that. At the end of the day, again, we think of wallets as being the ultimate aggregator, and really, I think that the industry overall has kind of been having this realization that actually the best thing to monetize is the interface that the users are actually using, right? You can see that sort of in Uniswap's foray into wallets. You can also see that in some of the stuff MakerDAO is doing even. So going forward, I do expect there to be lots more opportunities to generate revenue. Right now, though, we're really focused on growing the user base and upping engagement.
So you're a veteran in the space. You have your scar tissue to show for it. What advice would you have for someone who is just entering the space? It looks really scary. Just last week, it was Coinbase being sued, Binance being sued. I think on Thursday, aliens were found or something like that. It's just a scary world out there.
Oh, I see. I think the aliens are bullish, and not scary.
Okay.
But yeah, okay.
I guess your total addressable market increases dramatically if that were to be true. So I see your point. So what advice would you have for someone who's just entering the space and sees all this stuff? There's this awesome potential of crypto that, I'm all in, right? I've been in the space for multiple years. My team is all in. I know there are other teams out there that are all in. But from your vantage point on the consumer side, on the usage and the adoption of crypto, as opposed to the infra side, which is where Covalent is, what advice would you give to an entrepreneur who's thinking of starting a company in this space?
I think that it's important to follow people who are optimists and people who also kind of have this really positive ideological outlook about the future of this technology, and to kind of I guess just really curate your bubble right? Like your little echo bubble. Beyond that, though, I think that it's important to remember that in crypto, as far as I've seen it play out, true believers are rewarded, right? And I think that basically us, sticking with it and sort of having faith in this kind of positive, optimistic outlook about the, the impact of this technology more broadly, that is always something that ends up, working out for people as far as I've seen it. I would definitely encourage people to kind of, tough it out through the bear market. Now, what that doesn't mean, though, is I'm not suggesting that people sort of tough it out building something that sort of has zero traction, right? Or sort of zero validation. It is important to get your product validated by end users, but I do think that this industry is certainly the most entertaining, and I think also is one of the most rewarding to work in.
I don't think I've ever heard crypto been called entertaining. Interesting choice of words.
It's
definitely
super entertaining.
The drama is nonstop. So yeah, for sure. How has it been working with Covalent, the product, the team at Covalent? Any advice for us on how we can level up? We're always looking, always soliciting feedback on improving our brand and our products.
Yeah. Rainbow, we use Covalent for a bunch of things. My backend team absolutely loves Covalent, particularly how you guys have, I think by far the most comprehensive, network support and network coverage, which is something that we really value a lot. And yeah, I mean, we've actually been doing some cool stuff with it. You guys have enabled some end user experiences that no one else has really been able to enable. For example, with their upcoming browser extension product, part of the onboarding flow, a user enters their seed phrase, right? Like they're importing a wallet, they're entering their seed phrase. Something that Rainbow has wanted to do is be able to, given a seed phrase, to sort of recursively loop down all of the wallet paths and to check the balances on all of them across all of the chains, right? And that's kind of a pain in the ass to do. And Covalent has really made that easy for us to do. So thank you guys for your awesome service and enabling Rainbow to actually achieve that end user experience that we had set out for. Yeah, so I think that we only have positive things to say about working with you guys.
I'm very glad to hear that. So in all fairness, that was actually an idea by Wayne on your team. And
nice. We love Wayne. Wayne's the best.
Yeah. So one of the things I every few weeks I reach out to him and have a chat about what's on the roadmap and just align our roadmaps. And we don't want to be building in a void, right? We want to build what the industry needs, and what you guys are building here is game changing, right? You're just ahead of the curve, and really love empowering those humans really behind the scenes.
Hell yeah. Shout out Wayne. Wayne's the best. He leads our backend team.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne only has really great things to say about working with you guys. And overall, yeah, everyone at Rainbow has a great experience working with you guys. You guys are quite responsive. And yeah, you build the things that we need.
Thank you so much for your generosity and your advice. Loved having you on the pod. This is so much fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Let's chat soon.
This was fun.
Take care.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Take it easy.